The graph below is the function f of x. Find the limit as x approaches -1 from the left. And I know this is from the left because of the superscripted negative on it. The superscripted positive on the limit value tells me I'm coming from the right. So as I approach -1, so here's x equals -1. This is the value of question. So as I approach -1 from the left-hand side, what I want to see is what's happening to those y values. Well, those y values are getting closer and closer to the value 3. So that's the limit from the left. The limit from the right, so I start approaching -1 from the right. Well, then we observe what's happening to the y values coming from the right-hand side. As we go to -1 from the right-hand side, the y values are going to positive infinity. So be careful. You don't want to put does not exist because generally speaking, your left and right hand limits are going to exist. There are certain conditions where that might not happen, but in general, that's going to be the case. Where you put does not exist is when you compare your left and right hand limits. If these agree, then your limit exists and it is that value. If these disagree, then the limit does not exist. Now, the last question here asks, what is f of -1? Well, f of -1 is just where the function happens to be defined at that particular point. So at -1, I have this solid circle here. That's the definition of the function. And that happens to be at +1.